This true story happened several years ago with my oldest son, Blake, who was riding bulls back then every weekend in competitions. He had been riding for a couple years now, and he was pretty good. No serious injuries at that point. And this particular bull riding event happened at a small town in Arkansas called Sheridan, which back in 1974 I had graduated there from high school. So I knew several of the people there. There was a lot of people there. It was at nighttime. It was kind of cool, well lit, and they had run the bulls up in the chutes that the cowboys were going to get on, and I'd stepped up on the side of the chute because I always helped my son pull his rope, which is, to tighten it, warm the rosin up on it, stuff, and getting ready to ride. And I had the arena to my back, and I had looked to the left, glanced over, and one of the riders, he was getting ready. I looked to the bull behind me, and there wasn't any rope around it yet, but I just remembered it was a big black bull, and so I went ahead, and as I pulled the rope tight, my son got ready to reach for it to do what they call his wrap and get ready to ride. Just out of my peripheral vision, I just saw this black mass coming over the top of the chutes, which are high enough that no bull should be able to get over. But this one did. And just out of sheer instinct, I let go of the rope. I grabbed my son by his breeches and his vest he had on, and I just yanked him and pulled backwards. We both wound up in the arena, landing on our sides, and it kind of dazed me for a second, and it did my son too. And by the time we even tried to get up, there were already, the bullfighters and several other people were right there protecting us at that time. But the bulls never get out of the chute. What that bull did was cleared the top of the chute in front of him. And if I hadn't pulled my son out when I did, that it was not going to end well. And that was just an instinct move. The bull landed right on top of where my son would have been sitting, and they had to open the chute gate to let the bulls tumble out because they were stuck in there like they were. There was just too much bull and not enough place to put it. So it was a great time that it turned out that my son didn't get hurt. He came up and he was mad at first because he didn't understand what had happened. Then when a couple of the cowboys run up and grabbed his vest and looked him straight in the eye and said, "Man, your dad saved your ass." And I looked at it like I did what any other person would have done in my place. So it was a rodeo that turned out really well. It was scary after the thought, but at the time I hadn't even thought about that. I just thought protecting my son, that's all I knew. And apparently that's all I needed. So that was a time that turned out, could have been very bad, but turned out to be a blessing and a great rodeo. Thank you for listening to my story.